The news isn't what it used to be. So in the video animation, based on your research, you presented main developments in the news business. Do I understand it correctly that one of them is digital fragmentation and the other one is consolidation? Why are these issues?
Yeah, I think there is an important characteristic of this media transition. I think we never saw this in the history of media. We are having a kind of a false debate between the old media and the new media. This is a false dilemma. In my view, this never existed. Every time in the history a new media was introduced, of course it impacted the currently existing channels, but all channels go together, all ways of possibilities of communication go together and complement itself. But now, of course, the digital transition is being very long and changed dramatically how people communicate. But we have to avoid the issue of a possible battle, a possible fight between an old generation and a young generation, the traditional media versus the new media.
So besides a task for the next generation of journalists and editors and writers, what could we do? What can a regular citizen do besides maybe being mindful that this is happening?
Talking about regular citizens, it's a great challenge because at the same time there are many good possibilities achieved by lower class. I live in a country in Brazil, where roughly 30 million people are able to have a smartphone, a prepaid plan of, I would say, $30 a month or less. And this is a tool for them, for their lives, for their survival. This is a tool for safety, because they know where their children are, they can communicate, they can pay cashless for food, for public transportation, for many things. And for most of those people, research shows this, they are having their first digital experience with a prepaid smartphone. They jumped desktop, they jumped iPad, they jumped the tablet, and they are now with a digital experience, their first digital experience in their hands. But at the same time, this technology should be more used for educational purposes, for enlightening their views, and seems to me that it's a public policy, a lack of public policy, government's fault, failing in this. Technology is available, but technology is only a tool. You don't change values only with technology. A society only changes values using technology to impact behaviors, to insert and spread new ideas, and to boost real debate, inserting people's lives new thoughts and new ideas. But I think we are failing by using technology only as a tool.
The other effect is on media literacy. People may be losing the skills to differentiate information from opinion.
I'm personally convinced that public policy will have to be developed properly through maybe concrete actions. Becoming mandatory in middle or high schools, one or other discipline regarding how to read, how to understand the information environment. This, in my point of view, would be a very simple and effective measure from governments to help their citizens to better understand what is happening. So this is from the demand side, from the society side. The other point I would like to underline is from a macroeconomics point of view. I think all governments and institutions are a bit shocked and frozen about how the tech giants are dominating the information landscape. And I'm talking about the big search engine, the big social network. But I see some interesting points here. It's fair to say that the most civilized you are, you become a liberal and you believe in liberalism. I believe in liberalism. I believe in competition. I believe in the freedom of entrepreneuring, freedom of behavior, the freedom of activities. So conceptually, from my liberal soul, I'm against any regulation. But all our law environment and contests come from a historical moment where geographical barriers, in a sense, were natural ways of control this or that. What I'm seeing now is because for the digital means there is no geographical barriers, and this domination of tech giants, it's starting to influence the quality of information, the quality of discussion, and these algorithms can regulate what people are seeing, what people are building their opinion. So it's very delicate to say that, but lawmakers and governments, and again, it's a public policy issue, must discuss deeply how to compensate and how to protect, in a sense, how to protect, or how, more than protect is not a good word, but how to help their citizens to be exposed in a better and more balanced information environment. Because the big search engines and the big social networks are becoming the huge distribution, and they control the distribution. They control what you and I will see today and tomorrow. What we are seeing now is that the peer group's behavior are being reinforced by algorithms which refeeds you of what you previously enjoyed. And this is a cycle of maybe a vicious cycle that are not exposing people to diversity of opinions. And this is based on many empirical studies showing this.
So how concerned are you?
My main concern is that the society is maybe getting some steps back on once dreamed globalization in the best way of this meaning. Maybe a stepping back to nationalism, xenophobia, minority concerns. While you're having this conversation, Britain is preparing to vote for maybe getting out of the European Union, which is historically, if we say that 20 years ago, it will be taken by a crazy thing. So we never thought that the world could face this situation right now, discussing some possibilities, which is, in my point of view, a retrocess 2 decades ago, we dreamed about a globalized world in more harmony, with more understanding, and where all the voices will have a space to be listened and to be understood. And my main concern is we are not achieving that.
The separation between journalism and entertainment, journalism and advertising, journalism and advocacy, information and opinion is in many cases unclear or fading out.
I think Brazilian journalism is trying to show to the society, to show things, to add context, to add analysis, and to enlighten the debate. But I would say, as an editor, the scenario is a very difficult scenario because polarization is huge, and the society as a whole is kind of overwhelming by this mixing of opinions and all this media situation we have now.
So what is going through your mind now you're leaving Columbia University and heading back to Brazil?
Well, my mission now, when I come back to Brazil, is try to help the company I work for and also the journalism field as a whole, as a professor at a local school, to contribute for the Brazilian society having an accountable and transparent and modern journalism. That's why I'm carrying my luggage when I come back.
It's a big one.
It's a big one. Heavy one.